Wow, look at that moisture. So I delivered those beans this morning. 9.4% moisture. Test weight's only 55.2. But yeah, 9.4%. I'm going to need a couple of high humidity days or some light rain to turn the fan on in the bin and add some moisture to that and get some free money, I guess, out of the air. Well, it wouldn't be free because it'll cost me for the electricity to run the fans. But yeah, I left my GoPro home this morning, so I'm using the Osmo Pocket so you don't get that field of vision. I stopped by after I dumped the soybeans and got some wheat, got some seed wheat. I've got 2 pallets on here, so I've got to take that off and put it in the barn. We do have a few clouds around. Let's switch around here, and you can see a little bit cloudy. We're supposed to have a few light rain showers this afternoon, but it's nothing big. So this truck, once I take this wheat off, I'm going to take this truck to the shop. I stopped by my guy that works on this truck for me and talked to him about the steering pump. And he said back behind, can you see here? Back behind there is, a bleed valve or a blow-off valve. He said if it starts leaking, more than likely the steering pump needs to be replaced. They don't rebuild them themselves. He said from what he has learned and from what others have told him, when that blow-off valve, or gosh, I forgot what he called it now, but it's some kind of valve on that back side, pressure relief valve or something, when that starts leaking, it's usually a sign the gearbox is going bad. So I filled it this morning with power steering fluid, and I can see it has leaked all back around there, back on the axle, and I even noticed some back here on the battery box. So yeah, it was blowing that stuff all out. But I got this delivered. I've got to wait for soybeans to finish drying down anyway. You can see these over here still have some green in them, or maybe you can't. So he thinks he can get this done tomorrow, so I'm going to take it up this evening, so they'll have it first thing tomorrow morning to start working on. But in the meantime, let me jump on the skid steer and get the wheat off of here. Southern Harvest wheat. I have not planted this brand before, so we'll see how that goes. What do we got here? Oh, this is good. 15,000 seeds per pound. So this is SH5123. Well, I told the salesman I wanted a wheat that would produce 71.5 bushels to the acre. What was his recommendation? He said this one here would do 71.34 bushels per acre, so a quarter bushel better than what I was asking for. So let's hope he knows what he's talking about. Birdman got this hand crank pump installed on this tank the other day while he was dumping soybeans. Less than 10 minutes. Oh, maybe you can't hear me. Is that better? Less than 10 minutes, I've pumped 75 gallons into the tank. I have cranked this tank dry. It is now empty. I've just called my fuel supplier to let them know I'm empty. I'm going down to put this 75 gallons in the combine. Hopefully my fuel supplier gets here tomorrow. But that's how you do it. Yes, that's what is that, 8-9 gallons per minute that I'm pumping, so that's not too bad. I think I said in the last video that things come in 3, and I said when that pump, the fuel pump went bad, that was my 3rd electric motor. Well, guess what? Monday morning when I woke up, it was a little bit chilly in the house, or was it Tuesday? No, I think it was Tuesday morning. Yes, Tuesday morning I woke up. A little bit chilly in the house. I hit the thermostat to turn the heat up, to take the chill off, because I am a sissy and I hate cold weather. And the boiler came on, but the air handler did not come on. This doesn't sound good. So there's no hot air blowing out of my vents, but the boiler is running and heating up the water. So I go down and open the air handler up and I look at everything. I don't see anything amiss. Of course, everything is electronics these days with a control panel on it. I see some red lights. I see some green lights. I don't see any reset button to hit. I go to the thermostat. I turn it to the air conditioning mode. Turn it on. I can hear the compressor come on outside, but again, the air handler does not come on. So I know it's an issue with the air handler. I turn on just the fan on the air handler from the thermostat. Nothing. Damn it, this isn't good. So I called my niece's husband, who is a heat and air guy. I said, hey, can you help me out? Well, he was in New Jersey that day. He said, but I'll come down tomorrow. So tomorrow was yesterday. He came down yesterday morning. He checks it all out, and I'm telling him, I said, look, it's not going to be the fan motor on this thing. I said, because I've already had 3 electric motors go bad. After about 12.5 minutes of diagnosing, he says, I hate to tell you this, but it's your fan motor that has gone bad. And of course, there's none around. I think he's supposed to have one today for me. I have not heard from him yet. Yeah, none. So another electric motor. So I guess I have 2 more electric motors in my future that are going to go bad. I don't know what they could possibly be. I shouldn't say that because they will show me what they will be. But there we go. All right, I've got to go get a few things out of the shop to take down to the combine. I think one of them is a grease gun, so I'll be back. I do have to acknowledge one of my longtime viewers of this channel. I went to the mailbox over the weekend to check my mail for my business, the hardware store, and lo and behold, in the mailbox is a letter from a viewer, and enclosed in that letter is a check for $500. Well, this viewer had seen the video I did with the hurricane relief that we did, where I was helping to pack up all the items to send down to North Carolina for the hurricane victims. And this viewer was pleased with our efforts and what we did, so he sent this check to me to say, hey, I know this will go to the right place and help the right people. So yes, we are in the process of doing another drive to help the hurricane victims. Not all the same people involved. So we used the that money to buy some winter clothing, some like hats and gloves, some heaters, some shovels and rakes, and just flashlights, a whole different set of items there, more for the winter stuff now because it is getting cold down there. We also donated some more stuff from the hardware store. I took that up to the drop-off facility yesterday. So that was awful nice of that viewer to do that. Thank you. I'm sure the people of North Carolina, thank you as well. I think that truck is going out next week is what their plan is, to have another truckload to go out next week. So there are still good people in the world. See if we can make this happen today. Hey, don't run off the road here. I've got the circuit board for the combine, so that's where I'm headed to right now, is down here to put fuel in the combine. We're going to throw that circuit board on there to see what, see if that fixes my problems. I'm still looking at some green beans here, so I don't think we can go today. It is Thursday. Wind is blowing. It's only 60 degrees. Yesterday it didn't get to 60 degrees yesterday. I still have not planted any wheat. I'm looking at this forecast. There is no rain the next 7 days. I'm not even sure that I can get the wheat to go in the ground. It's dry, and so even if I can get it to go in the ground, is it going to come up, or is it just going to be enough there to sprout it and then it dies? So I'm a little bit scared of wasting the money. You know, wheat is, what did I pay for that? $24. All right, get close enough this time, so you only have to do this once. Wheat is $24 a bag, so I will have over $50 an acre just in wheat. We're gonna put about 2.5 bags to the acre, so that's just in the seed to put it out here, $50 an acre, and then I'm gonna have to spray it with some glyphosate to kill the weeds that are out here. So you know, you're gonna have close to $100. I won't say close. Well, I guess by the time you count your time and equipment and fuel, your hidden costs like insurance and things of that nature, yeah, you'll have close to $100 an acre tied up. I'll have to put some fertilizer down right now to get it started, and then not know what's going to happen to it. I don't like to take those chances. I know we take enough chances as it is, but we still have time. Today is only the 17th. We still got a week and a half for the optimal date for planting wheat. Yes, I have planted wheat into November. I've planted it the week before Thanksgiving. It's not ideal, but sometimes that's what you have to do. And we could get screwed, and it could come in next week and start raining and not shut off, and then we'll never get the wheat in the ground. And then I've got the wheat seed sitting there and it's not going in the ground, and you can't sell it because it's treated. So what do you do with it then? I've tried keeping it for a year. The bugs get into it, and that's a mess. I guess if I talk nicely to the dealer, I could send it back to him, but not ideal. Okay, let's fuel this combine up. Let's get it greased, and let's see if we can get this circuit board on there as well. Okay, I hope this is the right board, because there is a serial number break, and there's a couple different boards for this machine. There's a type 1, a type 2, and I think there's a type 3, but when I ordered it, it didn't give me options. There's a number on here. Let me check it against my phone. This is showing a different part number on here. But I think it has all the lights that I need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got one extra one on this side, but there are some dip switches on here to set depending on what you have. So let me pull the panel off up top and see what we've got. Okay, I've got the same thing, an extra light here. I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there's an extra light on mine as well. Everything else looks the same. Dip switches are set the same. All right, I think we're good. So let's do this. Let's put it in there. Okay, I can turn it on without putting it all up there and see what happens here. Okay. Look at that. All the lights have gone out. Let's do it this way first. There we go. I think life is good again, except for my furnace and my fuel pump. This is good. I'm happy about this. I bought this from Abilene Machine. I think I said in the earlier video $400, and there was a shipping charge. I did a 2-day Federal Express air. Does anybody say Federal Express anymore? Remember the day when it was called Federal Express and now it's just FedEx for short? So I did 2-day air on FedEx, so I think that cost me $25. And if you didn't know this, it is cheaper to send stuff to a business address than it is a residential address. I had it sent to the hardware store. I think it was like $15 cheaper to have it FedEx to the hardware store versus my home. And I don't think the farm is considered a business address. Not that I have much stuff shipped to the farm. I usually have it shipped to my house. But yes, so keep that in mind. And actually, we... on larger items, not because of the shipping cost, but mainly because of the freight trucks. Some freight companies will not deliver to a residential address because they're not sure if they can get their trailers, if they're bringing a tractor trailer in, they're not sure if they can get their trailers in the driveway. So we have people come into the hardware store a lot and say, hey, do you mind if I have such and such shipped to the store here? I'll be in to pick it up once they ship it. And so, yeah, we don't mind doing that for customers. Sometimes they just need a forklift to get it off of the truck. So we'll use our forklift for that. We don't charge people for that. It's just part of being in the community and doing for the community and helping the community. And so let me address the elephant in the room here. No, I'm not an elephant yet, but I am getting fatter and winter is coming. So concerning the True Value Bankruptcy, some of you have asked questions in the comments concerning this. So yeah, we heard about this the same time the rest of the country heard about this. We may have heard about it 6 hours earlier, and that's only because our CEO sent an email out Monday morning at 2 a.m. So of course I didn't see the email until 7 a.m. when I got up saying, hey, True Value has declared Chapter 11 bankruptcy, but we have got a buyer. Do It Best will be, it looks like will be our buyer as long as the bankruptcy court approves of this. And so then I don't think it hit the news media until like 9 or 10 o'clock on Monday morning. So yes, the True Value store owners knew about it a little bit earlier than the rest of the world. I don't think that means a whole lot to us as the store owner. It should be business as usual. Some articles that I have read have said that Do It Best has given a, what do they call it, a debtor in possession loan to True Value in order for True Value to continue buying product from vendors and keeping the warehouses stocked so us as store owners can continue ordering on our weekly order, get product into our store to keep our shelves stocked. We'll see how that goes. I did my order this morning for next week's delivery, and there were some items that were out of stock that shouldn't have been out of stock in my opinion, but we have noticed back orders creeping up a little bit over the last couple of months. So is that because of the financial position True Value is in, or is it another supply chain issue happening? Part of it could be because of the dock strike that was only 3 or 4 days long. I don't know. But it should be business as usual. I think Do It Best bought True Value for the name. True Value has been around, the name has been around for 75 years. People here on the East Coast, at least in our area, they have not heard of Do It Best before. We do have one Do It Best store about 45 minutes from us. I've never been in that store. If Do It Best is smart, in my opinion, they'll keep the True Value name and continue using the True Value name, using the True Value infrastructure. True Value just put in a new warehouse. It's only maybe 5 years old up in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. That's where all of our stuff comes from. So if they're smart, they'll continue on with that. True Value has a great line of paint, Easy Care paint. It has gotten high marks over the years from Consumer Reports and other consumer surveys and things of that nature. So hopefully that True Value name continues on and things continue on. The deal is supposed to be finished by the end of the year. That's pretty darn quick. So apparently they've done a lot of work into the lead up to this announcement to make this happen. I've been through Chapter 11 bankruptcy. I know what it entails, at least for a small business owner like myself. It drags on forever and ever and ever. I think we were under Chapter 11. Oh my God, was it 10 years? Let me think here. 8 or 10 years, probably. It was 8 or 10 years before the court finally approved it and took us out of that. So it's horrible. So hats off to True Value if they can make this happen by the end of the year. We'll see what happens. So yeah, business as usual. We always have the Do It Best and the Ace guys coming into our store maybe once a year, once every couple of years, trying to get our business. Same thing with True Value representatives. They go to the Ace and the Do It Best stores and say, hey, we'd like to have your business. We'd like you to sell our brand. So those guys are always coming in. And so if this doesn't work out, I can probably go to Ace or I can go to Do It Best directly and strike a deal with them and be an Ace store or True Value store. Luckily for us, when I opened this store 22 years ago, it'll be 22 years in November, I did not put True Value in our name. I just called it Ridge Hardware. So we won't have to do any name changes. A lot of stores use the True Value name or the Ace name or the Do It Best name. I didn't want to be married to True Value when I originally did this. So we just called ourselves Ridge Hardware. We have one True Value sign outside. So if it comes to it, that's all we'd have to do is take down that sign. Yes, we have some signage in the store. That's not a big thing. We can sell through the True Value stock as we transition to the Do It Best product. So it's, as I said, business as usual. That's what we're hoping for. It's just so happens the Do It Best guy, the regional guy, was in our store last week. He didn't know anything about this. We didn't know anything about this at the time. He was just paying us a yearly visit. He stops in once a year to say, hey, how's it going? Last week, my daughter and I both told him, look, let's talk. We want to go visit some do-it-best stores because we weren't happy with the way things were going at True Value. They were making some changes we didn't like. And, well, now we know why things were going the way they were, because they were in turmoil behind the scenes trying to figure this out and, I guess, cutting people and trying to cut expenses. So it's still a possibility that we can just say, True Value, forget you. We could sign a paper next week and sign up with Do It Best if we want. But I want to let this play out and see where it goes. We can still, there are other companies that we can purchase from as well, and not have any name, not have an ACE name or True Value name or a Do It Best name. And we can deal directly with vendors. That's not as easy. It's easier to get 80 to 90% of your product from one place. It's just easier that way. But we have other options, so we're not concerned here. So business as usual. I rambled on too long about that, but I hope it explains it and clears it up. Okay, this video has gotten a little long between the last 2 days, so I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm still looking at a few green beans in here. Same thing on that side. So I'm going to go here and check this ground when I turn this camera off. See how hard it is, see if we can no-till some wheat in the fields that I want to, and then make the decision about whether I'm going to plant this weekend or not. I don't know. But all right, let's wrap it up here. I'm happy about this Abilene machine with the used board there. Combine is back to almost new again. $400 and not $100,000 repair. All right, I'm going to say, see ya! See ya!